All right, thanks, guys. We are 10-1-1 on the season in our college football package right there on patreon.com/Brock page. Link for that site is in the description section below. We do daily plays on that site, and they begin at just $1.99 per month. Now, if you're a $1,000 bettor, right now you are well over 8 units. That's $8,000 if you had subscribed to my college football package. Once again, 10-1-1 in our 12 college football plays on patreon.com/Brock page. It'll only cost you $14.99 a month to subscribe to that package. All right, we have ourselves a very good slate of college football action for week 4, so let's go ahead and get into it. We have Air Force at Boise State, 9 o'clock Eastern kickoff this Friday. Boise State is ranked number 20. They're minus 7.5 in this ball game. Totals 55. We saw a 2-point fade of Boise State moving upward on the total. The Broncos open 9.5 down to 7.5. Total open 53 up to 55. Right now, Air Force is plus 265 on the money line. Boise State 3-0 on the year, 2-1 against the spread in those games. I think this is a great spot for Boise State backers. I don't like that half a point there, so I'm going to buy it down and take Boise State minus 7 in the under 55 in that game. Next matchup, Utah taking on USC, 9 o'clock Eastern kickoff this Friday at the Coliseum. Utah's minus 3, totals 54. We did see a 1-point fade of the number 10 ranked Utes. We also saw movement upward on the total. Utah opened 4 down to minus 3, total open 53.5 up to 54. Right now the Trojans are plus 160 on the money line. Utah's 3-0 straight up on the year. USC failed to cover in 2 out of their 3 ball games. I think this is a great spot for Utah backers. I think they're a little bit better than 3 points. I'm going to lean Utah minus 3 in the over 54 in that game. Next matchup, Cal Golden Bears taking on Ole Miss. 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff this Saturday at Ole Miss. The Rebels are minus 2, totals 45. Cal is actually 3-0 straight up on the season right now. Meanwhile, Ole Miss on the other side failing to cover in 2 out of their 3 ball games. I think this is a pretty good spot for Cal backers. I know it's an early game, but I think this Cal ball club is pretty resilient, showing great signs of fortitude on that defensive side of things in certain spots. I like Cal plus the 2. Give me the Golden Bears plus 2. And the under 45 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick timeout and just once again welcome you to the show. Got some lines and personal leans out for college football week 4. But before we go ahead and proceed with the program, I just want to quickly remind you to once again just check me out on my website at patreon.com/Brock page. And like I said earlier, we're 10-1-1 for the season in our college football package. Once again, you're over 8 units if you are playing those plays in that college football package. If you're $1,000 bettor, you're well over $8,000 in earnings already in just college football, building your bankroll to bet other sports. We do daily plays on that website. They begin at just $1.99 per month. There's plenty of different packages you could subscribe to, and there's also plenty of free content there as well, including my current record for those who are suspicious, and you should be, especially with a guy touting his record on YouTube. So check me out. That's a part of the free content, patreon.com/Brock page, where you can access my current record for free. All right, let's go ahead and dive back into some more lines of personal leans. All starts Eastern Standard Time. And on deck, we've got LSU taking on Vanderbilt, as I'm going to try to cue that up here. And there we have it on the screen. LSU at Vandy, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff at Vanderbilt. The Tigers are minus 23.5, totals 58. We saw a 4-point move toward LSU. We also saw movement upward on the total. So once again, the number 4 ranked LSU Tigers opened the betting as the 19.5-point favorite up to minus 23.5. Total open 57 up to 58. Tigers are a perfect 3-0 straight up on the year. They successfully covered the number in 2 out of those 3 ball games. Meanwhile, Vanderbilt, 0-2 on the year. They failed to cover in those 2 ball games, and they gave up 72 points in those 2 contests. I think this is a pretty good spot for LSU backers. I don't like that half a point out there. I don't do this every time. I know this bothers a lot of bettors out there, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and take LSU minus 23 and the over 58 in that game. Next matchup, good one, Big Ten rivalry. Michigan taking on Michigan taking on Wisconsin, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff at Camp Randall Stadium. Now, Wisconsin's minus 3.5, totals 46. Not a whole lot of movement on the spread. Pretty good two-way action there. But we did see a 1-point move downward on the total. So once again, the number 13 Wisconsin Badgers are minus 3.5 in this ball game. Total open 47 down to 46. And right now, the number 11 ranked Michigan Wolverines are plus 130 on the money line. Now, Michigan's 2-0 straight up for in their last two ball games. They're 8-1 straight up in their last 9, taking on members of the Big Ten. Now, Wisconsin beat USF and Central Michigan. So the competition there, not so stout. I really like this spot for Michigan backers. I'm also going to purchase the 0.5 point, buy it up, pay a little bit of juice, and I'm going to lean Michigan plus 4 and the over 46 in that game. Next matchup, Southern Miss, Alabama. And that is going to be a 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff. As I'm attempting to locate that here on the screen, I may have passed it. I'm only going to go through one more time if I can't find it. There we go. Southern Miss at Alabama, 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff in Alabama. The Crimson Tide are minus 39, totals 59.5. Bama, not all that great of a covering team. Their spreads are just so damn high. They failed to cover in 2 out of their 3 ball games this year. Meanwhile, Southern Miss on the other side, they're 2-1 straight up. They successfully covered the number in 2 out of those 3 ball games. They're also 5-2 ATS in their last 7, dating back to last year. Pretty good covering team are the Southern Miss. I believe it's the Eagles. I don't see Bama absolutely decimating these guys, especially with conference play coming up. I want to get those starters out of there. So I think Southern Miss will get the job done, plus 39 in the over 59.5 in that game. Next matchup, Tennessee, Florida. 12 o'clock Eastern kickoff in Gainesville. The Gators are minus 14.5, totals 48 and a hook. Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of movement in this one, but we are. We most likely will see movement when it comes to the spread. Now, I know Tennessee had some scares there earlier in the season, but Florida just lost Felipe Franks, starting quarterback for the season. Bad foot injury. So right now, Florida minus 14.5, total open 50, down to 48 and a hook. That could drop down even more as well. 57% of the consensus is leaning toward the Volunteers. Right now, Tennessee's plus 450 on the money line. Now, the Gators are 0-3 against the number so far in the season. They've also failed to cover in 6 out of their last 10 head-to-head matchups with Tennessee. I think this is a pretty good spot for Tennessee backers. It is a conference game. I'm going to lean Tennessee plus 15 after purchasing the hook and the under 48.5 in that game. Next matchup, another good one. Auburn taking on Texas A&M. That's going to be a 3:30 Eastern kickoff in that matchup there. So we attempt to locate that on the board. And I either passed it or it's not on there. And that would be a damn shame if they forgot that one. Yeah, I do not see it there. But anyway, Auburn taking on Texas A&M, 3:30 Eastern kickoff at the Aggies. Texas A&M's minus 4 in this one, totals at 50. We did see a 0.5 point move toward Texas A&M and movement upward on the total. The Aggies open 3.5 up to minus 4. Total open 49.5 up to 50. 52% are leaning Aggies, and at the moment, Auburn's plus 160 on the money line. Now, the Tigers are 3-0 on the year. Perfect against the number as well. 3-0 ATS in those 3 ball games. Now, Texas A&M on the other side, winners in just 3 out of their last 7 head-to-head matchups with the Tigers. I love the Tigers in the spot catching points. I'm going to lean Auburn plus 4 and the under 50 in that game. Next matchup, Miami, Ohio taking on the Buckeyes. 3:30 Eastern kickoff at Ohio State. The Buckeyes are laying 40 points, totals at 60. We saw a 1.5 point move toward Ohio State, movement upward on the total. The Buckeyes open 38.5 up to 40. Total open 56.5 up to 60. The Buckeyes are 3-0 straight up on the year, successfully covering in 2 out of those 3 games. They scored over 42 points in each and every game this year. Now, the Warhawks, I believe they're called, of Miami, Ohio, home of Big Ben Roethlisberger. They lost to Cincinnati, which is a common opponent. They lost to Cincinnati pretty handily. Meanwhile, Ohio State beat Cincy 42-0, just decimated them. Well, I'll tell you this much. Miami just 1-2 against the spread thus far on the year. I'm going to lean Ohio State -40. And the under 60 in that game. All right, next matchup. It is going to be Southern Miss taking on TCU. It's wow, totally botched that. SMU, Southern Methodist, taking on TCU. Wow, really botched that one. As I try to locate that. There we go. SMU at TCU.